about is you talking about Beyonce. I don't like when people talk about Beyonce. We're not gonna do that. You the
Ray J is finally spilling the tea on the Carters, claiming they used him like some twisted plaything. And the tea is piping hot. People already had their doubts about his loyalty, since he was always quick to defend them, especially Beyonce. Now, word in Hollywood is that Ray J and Beyonce allegedly had a secret fling back in the day, and apparently there are tapes floating around being auctioned off to the highest bidder, with TMZ reportedly leading the race. But that's not even the craziest part. Rihanna's former publicist, Jonathan Hay, just jumped in and accused Jay-Z of making Ray J entertain Beyonce right in front of him, while Jay allegedly sat back and watched, doing the unthinkable. That's wild. Industry insiders are getting bold, and it's only a matter of time before all these secrets come crawling out. These celebrities better start confessing before the streets do it for them. And let's not forget, Ray J once jumped to defend Jay and Bey when Jaguar Wright went on Piers Morgan, claiming the Carters were tied to Diddy's dark dealings and keeping bodies for so-called rituals. He even clapped back at Jaguar before Jay and Bey could threaten lawsuits themselves.
Hear you disrespect Jay-Z and Beyonce. Jay-Z is an OG. Don't ever disrespect Beyonce, because now that you lying on me, and I know for sure that all the you're saying is a lie. Now you wanna go. Beyonce has never done nothing to nobody. I haven't seen Beyonce make one mistake. That's somebody that's really trying to make sure that her image is in the forefront and be a role model for all these young girls and all the people that's inspiring to be like her or to follow down a path like that. That's a path you want to follow down.
The last time Ray J went this hard defending somebody, it was Diddy. And everyone knows he only did that because of their wild history together. But this time, things took a shocking turn. Not long after, Rihanna's former publicist, Jonathan Hay, came forward in an interview and dropped what he called the real tea about why Ray J was riding so hard for Beyonce. Jonathan, the same guy who once accused Jay-Z of secretly sleeping with Rihanna, now says every word he spoke back then was true. He only took it back because, according to him, Jay-Z allegedly threatened him into silence. That's some heavy pressure right there, and it makes you wonder just how deep this whole situation really goes.
But DJ Khaled is bisexual, and Jay-Z has also participated in bisexual activities.
Would you want to say allegedly for your safety?
There's no, I would say allegedly if it was allegedly. DJ Khaled, 100%, he's bisexual. I did a show called One Shot, and he was in Miami, and he was open with the guy that he was with. He was gay, and I don't understand what happens there where, because nobody said anything to me like, hey, make sure you don't, go out and say this on record. Makes it weird that would still be hidden. That seems like that should be a fact that DJ Khaled, at least in 2016, was definitely bisexual. And Jay-Z is without question bisexual.
Jonathan didn't hold back at all. He kept going and dropped an even wilder claim. He accused Jay-Z of being on the down low, saying he allegedly caught him getting intimate with a trans woman. And here's the kicker. This supposedly went down while Jay-Z was still married to Beyonce. Now that's a bombshell nobody saw coming.
Did you personally see Jay-Z with transgender women?
I have, correct. It was during the tour. They had the documentary for it.
Yeah, it was a documentary, backstage or the
Backstage
stage.
with the mill and all that. I used to work with her. In 2024, the trans women are, it can be hard. Like a lot of people that they don't know, but back then it wasn't as advanced, and you could clearly tell, that was a guy.
Now this is where the story goes completely off the rails. Jonathan claimed Jay-Z was hosting wild private parties, the same kind of freaky scenes people once whispered about Diddy and Cassie. But according to him, Jay's version had a twist. Instead of hiring male escorts, he was allegedly making other men in the industry get with Beyonce. And get this, Jonathan swears Ray J was one of them. He even claimed Jay stood by and watched the whole thing unfold while taking part himself. This is pure madness.
I know that Jay-Z is a cult, right? He likes to watch Beyonce with other men. Ray J, from what I heard, even before all this happened, was one of the guys that used to smash Beyonce while Jay-Z would watch. Diddy, as we know, is into those.
Now, Jonathan still hasn't dropped a single receipt to back up his wild claims, so it's only fair not to jump straight to conclusions. But fans think this could explain why Ray J was always so defensive when it came to Beyonce, even though from the outside, he had no real reason to be that invested in her business. And let's not forget those older accusations Jonathan made about Jay-Z allegedly getting too close with a then-teenage Rihanna. He now says that after he leaked that story, federal agents actually reached out to him for help in an investigation. They supposedly believe Jay flew Rihanna into the US from overseas for an inappropriate affair that involved money. That's a serious accusation. If true, it's beyond messy. Basically, Jonathan claimed the feds were investigating Jay-Z for something way darker, saying he was being looked into for allegedly moving underage girls, including Rihanna, across borders for illegal encounters. They supposedly told him Rihanna wasn't the only one, and that there were others too. These are serious accusations. And what's wild is that Jonathan isn't even using the word allegedly, which makes people think he's sitting on real evidence to back his story up. But the mess doesn't stop there. Whispers have long floated around that Beyonce's been involved with other men behind the scenes, even while publicly standing beside Jay-Z. There were even old rumors linking her to Pimp C, and some believe whatever went down between them might have played a role in his tragic passing. And here's where it gets extra crazy. Word is, there was once a tape of Beyonce and Pimp C that never saw daylight because Jay-Z allegedly stepped in and made sure it disappeared before it could ever be released. This is next level scandal.
Who was in this Pimp C tape?
There was a famous R&B chick, and it was a guy that was getting money at the time. He used to be in the studio, and every now and then he'd have a camcorder, so he was able to get some footage. He wanted to do something with the footage. I don't know why he didn't do nothing with it, but if I could have got a hold of that tape, I'd be a billionaire, man. I know TMZ would have paid a bank for that one, man. Tape, and if you read the comments, a lot of people figured out. People that was in Houston at the time, they know who was a little loose.
Word on the street says Jay-Z didn't just have Pimp C taken out. It was done in a way that felt dark and symbolic. According to DJ Paul from 3-6 Mafia, Pimp's own manager described how his body was found positioned like he was praying, covered in blood, hinting that he might have been struck in the head before it was all over. Creepy, right? And here's where the story gets even deeper. There was already bad blood brewing between Jay-Z and Pimp C before all that went down. Record exec Greg Taylor revealed that right after the deal for Jay-Z and UGK's Big Pimpin' collab was sealed, he made a call to Pimp C. What Pimp didn't know was that the call was on speaker, and he allegedly started dissing Jay right then and there.
Dame Dash opened up his checkbook, could have checked for $1 million. But no, he said, we want to with UGK. So I immediately picked up the phone and called Pimp C on the phone like, yo, Pimp and Jamal was in the house. Calm down, bro. Y'all calm down, Pimp.
I ran up the cable bill.
They was fighting. Okay, they was fighting like hard. I said, but right now, I got $1 million check for you. All we want was 100,000. I was just like, who is that with? I said, with Rockefeller. Ain't that with Jay-Z? Tell him to take that check and go give it to Tupac Mama, man.
There were also wild whispers that Beyonce and Most were secretly messing around back in the day. Neither of them has ever confirmed it, but insiders swore their connection went way deeper than just studio sessions. Some even said it was a full-on fling hidden behind business meetings. Producer Syph Sounds once spilled a little tea too. He said he spent a weekend with Destiny's Child, and while hanging out, he noticed Beyonce and Mos Def were acting real close, like way too close for just co-workers. The chemistry was obvious, and people haven't stopped talking since.
DJ'd for Mos Def, and we went over to London for some shows, and Destiny's Child was performing there. And I don't know if you know this, and don't tell anybody if you don't, but Mos Def kind of used to mess with Beyonce.
And let's not forget the long-running whispers claiming Beyonce might secretly be into women too. The streets have been buzzing for years about her supposedly living a double life behind closed doors, and the rumors just won't die down.
Trained at the esteemed Berklee College of Music. Handpicked by my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carrington, Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band, which was Matthew Knowles' idea because he couldn't get Beyonce to stop people. Guess you didn't know your daughter well enough because she just started all the girls.
Just when you think this story couldn't get any messier, boom, it does. Attorney Ariel Mitchell-Kidd revealed in a recent interview that she was approached by a potential client with a shocking request. They allegedly wanted her help getting back involved in the sale of a freak-off tape featuring Diddy and another huge celebrity. But here's the real kicker. Ariel said the person caught on that tape was even bigger than Diddy himself, and apparently had no idea they were being filmed. That's a serious bombshell right there.
I also was just recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes. Already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood, but one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of and to contact the person who was in the video. Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
Really?
People instantly started assuming the mystery star was none other than Beyonce. And honestly, fans had two big reasons for jumping to that conclusion. First off, there aren't many celebrities in the game bigger than Diddy, and Beyonce is definitely one of them. Second, folks brought up those old rumors about her supposed tape with Pimp C, saying if that story had any truth to it, then the idea of her having one with Diddy wouldn't be too far-fetched either. With all that floating around, fans are starting to think the wild allegations about Ray J and Beyonce might actually have some truth behind them. And social media isn't holding back at all. One person commented, "Jay-Z bought Beyonce decades ago from her daddy. He's her handler. Y'all slow if you can't see it." Another wrote, "The last time I heard about a Beyonce tape was when Pimp C mentioned it. Next thing you know, that man was gone." Now I gotta ask, do you think Jay-Z really made Beyonce hook up with Ray J? And if so, how long do you think that situation went on? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the next messy video.